Shortly this morning, Vice President J.D. Vance will speak at the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas. The president's sons, Don Jr. and Eric, will also attend this event. The president and his family stepping ever deeper into the crypto world. CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton is here. You know, this segment will be titled like How Donald Trump and His Family Learned to Love Crypto,
yes.
Right? Both politically and financially here. Let's talk about, in general, the politics of crypto. How has it changed over the last 10 years?
Well, this is one of the trend lines in American politics and just American society overall that makes you go, wow, crypto has become part of the mainstream. What are we talking about here? The belief that crypto should be legal. Back in 2014, it was just 38% of Americans. Look at this shift. Hello. It is now 55% of Americans who believe that crypto should be legal, compared to just 38% who believe it should in fact be illegal, at least most of the time. So this is a big part that's playing in a Donald Trump's play here, is that the American public has shifted tremendously on it, going from just 38% who believe it should be legal to now 55% who believe it should be legal in 2025.
All right, crypto people, how have their politics changed?
Yeah, how have crypto people? Part of this is Trump loves people who are loyal to him, right? This is something we've seen time and time again. Trump's margin among crypto voters compared to overall. In 2020, he did 4 points worse among crypto voters than he did overall. He lost them. But take a look at 2024. Whoa, that's a huge shift. He did 19 points better among crypto voters than he did overall. Won them rather easily. So part of Donald Trump getting into bed with crypto owners is that they like Donald Trump, and therefore Donald Trump loves crypto owners.
It's possible that he saw fertile ground there, which is, you know, he went in, he asked for their vote, he got it, he told them what they wanted to hear. How's he doing in crypto beyond politics?
Yeah, okay, so, you know, we spoke about the fact that the American public believes that crypto should be legal. We've spoken about the fact that crypto voters have been loyal, have shifted over to Donald Trump. But it's also that Donald Trump's family is making a ton of money on crypto. Trump family paper gains from crypto. Get this, nearing $1 billion. We're talking from mining. We're talking from their own coins. The bottom line is the Trump family saw an opportunity to go into crypto to make a lot of money from crypto, and that is in fact exactly what they have done. And Donald Trump is one of the people who has been responsible for bringing crypto into the mainstream, because it's been good for him politically, but it has also been quite good for him and his family financially.
Yeah, sometimes it is hard to find that line between those two either.
Yes,
all right.
Sometimes a little confusing, but Donald Trump is towing that line.
Or not.
Or
We'll
not.
see. Harriet, thank you very much.
In the coming hours, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance is scheduled to give a keynote address at the 2025 Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. Donald Trump Jr. has also appeared at the three-day event, along with several U.S. lawmakers. Their appearances come amid a notable rollback of regulations in the cryptocurrency industry since President Trump started his second term in office. While speaking at the conference, the president's oldest son said that he believes his father has always been a trailblazer.
And once we started explaining to him the potential, as you know, I mean, he's a quick study. As a guy who is a serious innovator, I mean, he sort of did things before everyone else. He saw ideas before everyone else. He implemented them, and the first guy to do branded real estate. He was really successful in that. And then he saw an opportunity in television, parlayed that into the presidency of the United States. I mean, he's a guy that gets these things.
Meantime, the Trump Media and Technology Group has announced plans to raise $2.5 billion to buy Bitcoin. That would be one of the largest Bitcoin treasury deals of any public company. Joining me now is Adam Zierosinski, CEO of Inca Digital. That's an analytics firm specializing in open source data and intelligence. Adam, great to have you this morning. Welcome to the program. Just first, your reaction to this news that Trump Media is raising $2.5 billion to buy Bitcoin. That's a lot of money. How significant is that for the industry?
Good morning, and thanks for your time. I mean, I think it's significant, of course. Ultimately, I think all these moves by the Trump administration are a good thing for America. You know, I and many other people in the crypto industry see this as a national security issue. It's a new critical infrastructure for the world and for the United States in particular. And the Trump admin leaning into crypto is ultimately going to be a good thing.
And Bitcoin has more recently been near record highs, but it wasn't long ago that it was the crypto winter. It was a very sort of different landscape then. Trump has said that he would like to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. Adam, where do you see the U.S. in this space 3.5 years from now or at the end of his term?
Yeah, I mean, right now we are very behind. We're losing to Asia, we're losing to the Gulf, we're losing to China. And I think it's important that we onshore as much crypto innovation as we can. And that's everything from small data analytics companies like mine to more of the big exchanges. It's important for our markets in a lot of different ways, to ensure efficiency, to bring innovation back here. It's also important for law enforcement and for national security, right? If we have these companies here onshore, we are able to not just impute our jurisdiction, whether that's with the FBI or the national security community, but also just our values, right? And what we as Americans think markets should be. There's no going back. It's either going to be here or it's going to be elsewhere. So I hope it's going to be here. I know that's kind of a long-winded answer to your question, but in the next 3 years, I really hope that that U.S. markets turn on to crypto in the way that I think they should, in the way that I think you're kind of starting to see in the ecosystem.
And so what would need to happen? You sort of touched on it there in terms of law enforcement or enforcement. What would need to happen from a regulatory standpoint, a policy standpoint, in order for the U.S. to catch up, as you point out?
Yeah, I mean, the first is just bringing companies onshore, right? Still, most of the lit trading volume in crypto is offshore, despite Coinbase being a very large exchange. So that is step one. Step two, while I'm not a policy wonk, I think clear guidelines on what is expected of crypto companies here in the United States is super important and is something that I know the administration is working on. I had a chat with Treasury officials just last week where they were getting inputs from a lot of the big crypto companies on what they need to get clear guidance, what that guidance should be. Those are the two main things that will really help crypto companies come back to the U.S. and grow here.
Yeah, at the same time, you sort of have, I mean, to your point, these sort of valid sort of interests of at least those in the industry of wanting to onshore or make the U.S. More of a player in the crypto space. On the other side, you have these concerns about how the administration, how Trump, how his family may be benefiting from some of these ventures into crypto. And I'm curious what the perspective has been inside of the crypto sort of circles about Trump, his family, these ventures, and how they impact, I think, the credibility or the legitimacy of the industry.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed bag. I think for the most part, I'm obviously not speaking for everybody. The feeling is that it's demonizing what the Trump admin and what the Trump family is doing because it's crypto, right? I'm not sure how different it is than selling merchandise, selling MAGA hats, for example, and benefiting off of that in some way, shape, or form, or Hunter Biden selling art pieces, right? I think that the general sentiment is in the right direction, right? Which is, there's this sentiment in the United States that we don't want public officials benefiting off of their personas and personalities, right? But it's happening everywhere, and this is an example of it, of it maybe happening in crypto. But whether it's congressmen trading off of private information, that they have the ability to trade stocks, or selling art, or selling merch, right, and doing marketing. I think the sentiment is right, but overwhelmingly, at least in the crypto community, Trump's involvement is seen as a good thing and as a sign that there are good markets ahead and there's going to be more innovation here in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think there was quite a bit of concern about all of those other issues that you pointed out too, whether it is merch or whether it's art.
you're right.
You know, they raised flags and questions as well about, you know, any ethical considerations that need to be raised. But all important talking points. Great to have you this morning. That's Adam Dzierżynski. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.